Boy, Colman Domingo, boy, it's Joe Jackson. Look, I think everybody will be on the same page when it comes to Joe Jackson, aka Colman Domingo, on this movie, boy. Everybody will be on the same page. This is the goddamn best performance in the whole entire movie. Ain't even close. Yo, what's poppin', people? Cole with Star Green. Back with you guys with another video. Look, guys, first time finding my channel. Like it says right there, hit the subscribe button. All of that video. Yes, today I get to do my movie review for one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Of the year, yes, of the year. And I'm talking about Michael. Yeah, Billy Jean is not my lover. Woo! You know that one. Yes, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. It was so anticipated for me that I went to a screening that I wasn't even supposed to go to, y'all. So I'm part of press, right? So press has their own screening, but general public had their own screening too before the press screening. I ended up going to that screening and people were like, yeah, you ain't supposed to be here, but your boys just saw the movie, shout out to them. And I can finally do my full review on this. Now, my apologies if this review is long. I am very passionate about this Michael Jackson movie. I was very passionate about this. So, did I like the movie? Did I not like the movie? Well, you guys going to find out right there. Go ahead and cue that intro.
We got a problem. 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 Yeah, it's probably you. Yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem. Yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem.
So, I'm going to get this out the way now. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm probably gonna do a spoiler review on this, right? Because there's a lot of things I do want to say, but I can't really say on this review, you know? So I'm gonna save that off for the spoilers. But did I like the movie? Did I not like the movie? I went in super hyped for this one, right? My expectations for this movie were dumb high for this, right? Did they meet my expectations? Yes and no, right? I'll give you guys that. I walked out happy, but was I satisfied? I don't think so, right? Now, I'm gonna get this off the rip. I'm just gonna go ahead and already say this. When it comes to a biopic, right? You sing a biopic, especially for somebody that doesn't even know about this person, right? When you're seeing a biopic, it's not only for the fans of that particular artist or that particular person, but it's also people that have no idea who this person is, right? I think that should go in hand with when people make biopics, right? If, like I said, if I'm making a biopic, okay, this is for people that know this person, people that also maybe might know this person. And I will say, at least for this movie, this was pretty much made for the fans. Y'all, I'm just gonna be completely honest. And there's nothing completely wrong with that, right? But like I said, I like a biopic where it might tell me something I never knew about this particular person, you know? So I think that's what kind of brings this movie down. But don't look, it's still a good movie, y'all. It's still a good movie, and I'll get into why it's a good movie. And I'll really get into why like I kind of brought it down some points because of some certain things, right? Now, let's go ahead and get into all the good. Y'all know the story behind this, man. To me, this is the greatest artist of all time. If you're asking Michael Jackson, yes, is the greatest artist of all time, right? He's influenced so much, he's done so much, right? So this is pretty much his life, his story up until a certain point, right? And then whatever, it's up to a certain point, y'all. It isn't finished. The whole entire finished story is not in this movie, but it starts off with a character that might get overlooked. I think it starts off. The whole movie starts off pretty much with the youngest version, the Jackson 5, as people say. But it's the youngest version of Michael, played by, man, I forget this kid's name. Giuliano, I don't know how to say his last name. That kid that you see early on that plays the young Michael right here, he blew me away. He was great in the movie. He's not on screen for a lot because you gotta get you this far, but this young Michael, I wanted to see more of this. I'm not gonna lie. This kid did such a great job at playing a young Michael Jackson. I don't know if a lot of reviewers might even say that. They might completely overlook that young Michael, but I'm not. Give this kid his props, goddammit. There's points, I'm pretty sure it's not him singing for real. I'm pretty sure they're dubbing it with the real Michael Jackson's voice. But I'll say from a performance standpoint, he did his thing. As a kid, he did his thing. Like I said, I wanted to get it out the way because I feel like that might get overlooked because everybody and their mama is just going to be pretty much talking about, oh, the freaking main Michael Jackson. And the main Michael Jackson being played by Michael Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson, right? I'll say it's about Jafar's performance. His performance really shines when he's doing his musical songs, right? Billie Jean, Thriller, you know, Wanna Be Starting Something, but he's doing the performance. That's when I think he really, really shines. Like, he's a really big standout. Like, when he's moving around, pop locking, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When he doing all that, yeah, those are the shining moments. Jafar got that down. But I think when it has to be, whenever he has to dance, or whenever he has to, like, whenever he's not singing, whenever he's not moving around, whenever he's not doing this stuff whenever he's not on stage, I'll say when he's not on stage, I feel like his performance is not bad, but it's all right, you know? But I'm not gonna default him. This is like his first acting role, you know? But that's just, he doesn't blow me away with his performance. But you know who blew me away with their goddamn performance? But I already knew it, you know, going into the movie, because I'm like, I've never seen this guy be bad, ever, you know? Boy, Colman Domingo, boy, it's Joe Jackson. Look, I think everybody will be on the same page when it comes to Joe Jackson, aka Colman Domingo, on this movie, boy. Everybody will be on the same page. This is the goddamn best performance in the whole entire movie. Ain't even close. Y'all, look, we all know the story of Joe Jackson, right? Michael Jackson didn't like Joe Jackson. We all know that. But goddamn, I hated Joe Jackson all over again watching this one, yo. I'm trying to tell y'all, Colman Domingo killed it. Man, look, like, I'm about to play this clip right here.
I need to think. I told you what to think.
Yes, like, y'all see how well Colman Domingo, not only does he play such a great job, but he really kind of transforms himself into Joe Jackson. Like, even look at this, like, look at the look. He doesn't even really look 100% like Colman Domingo. Like, his eyes, he has like contacts in his eyes and stuff like that. So he really transforms himself into this Joe Jackson character. And I'm saying, he plays it so good. I'm telling you, the whole entire movie, I was like, God damn, I hate Joe Jackson, right? And I don't say too much, but boy, Colman Domingo's performance gives you a lot of reasons why to hate Joe Jackson. And I'll tell you guys, man, it might relate to a lot of you people, right? A lot of people that had father figures that you were actually scared of, you know, that you didn't want to tell anything to, you know, that you were afraid to, like, somewhat talk back. Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson right there, man. It was to the point where even the young Michael, he didn't even call him by his real name. He didn't even call him daddy. He never called him dad. He called that man Joseph the entire movie. You know how scary that gotta be? God damn it. Oh, and I forgot to say this about Jafar. So I'll tell you guys, and it's not even on him. This is more on the makeup department. Boy, they had some amazing makeup for Jafar, boy. As the movie goes along, and I won't say too much about this, but as the movie goes along, he transforms more and more into Michael that you know, right? The whole movie, more layers of makeup is being added on to Jafar. And I was like, God, there was a certain point in the movie I was like, that looks just like Michael Jackson. I was like, they got so much makeup on him. Like I said, once you watch him in the beginning of the movie, watch him towards the end of the movie, you will see how much makeup they put into that character. And I'll say, goddamn it, the makeup department did a great job on Jafar. It made him look just like Michael Jackson. That's all I wanted to say on that. Character-wise, any more characters? It's not too crazy. Yeah, you got Nia Long playing his mother, but she don't really do too much. She's more of like baby, you do what you want to do. You know, you do what you feel is best for you. So I wouldn't really get too deep into Nia Long's character. The biggest character to get deep in, and here's Nia Long right here. But the character to get deep into, I feel like, is Jafar and Colman Domingo, aka Joe Jackson. That's pretty much what the movie is like them butting heads throughout the entirety of the film. Yeah, you do have the Jackson 5 in this one, but they afterthoughts, really, if we can be completely honest. You know what I wish the movie would have answered? So one of my biggest things when it came to Michael is I wanted to know, especially I would want to ask Joe Jackson this too. What did they see? What did you see in Michael Jackson? What did you see in Michael, especially when you had your other sons? So what did you see in Michael that you were like, oh, this boy's special? You know, like, and that's one thing, like I said, the movie does not answer that. When you see young Michael, he's already like the main singer, stuff like that. I wish they would have added a part that Joe Jackson would have been like, oh yeah, this is the one right here. This is the kid right here. But you don't see that. You just see first couple scenes, he's already like, this boy's special, right? And like I said, I wish that was a huge missed opportunity right there. I feel like that was very, very, very missed. But yeah, the other Jacksons, they're kind of afterthoughts. They're kind of here and there. It's not really their story. So I wish they would have put them in there more, because I feel like they kind of are a much bigger impact on Michael than you probably see in this movie, though. You know what I'm saying? And going off on that too, when we talk about impacts on Michael's life, and this is what I think the biopic did a terrible job at, because I think they cut too much. So you guys know, man, Michael Jackson, he was dealing, I gotta get this part off my chest. Michael Jackson was dealing with vertigo, right? That's how they say it, where his skin started to slowly change colors, right? I promise y'all, they spend maybe 2 minutes on that in the entirety of the film. Like, there's a point where he's in the hospital and he's like, oh yeah, my skin's changing. And that's it. And I'm like, ain't this a bigger part of his story? I'm like, if that was me and I was like, oh crap, my skin's changing color, that would be a huge part of my story. But they literally spend like 2 minutes talking about it and never go back to it, you know? And I know that there was like a 4-hour cut and they end up cutting this down to 2 hours. But goddamn it, y'all should have left some more in this movie though. That was hugely missed. They spent more time on that goddamn or they spent less time on that vertigo with him. They spent more time talking about this burn he had in his head. Now that burn was a huge part, right? He damn near almost died. And I'm actually glad they put that in the film, right? But they spent so much time on that, you know, they spent way more time on that burn thing and then did the vertigo. And I was like, I don't think that was, I think they probably should have got equal amount of time at most. They probably should have got equal amount of time. But literally, I'm not trying to spoil nothing too crazy, but literally, yeah, they talk about that vertigo situation. And then it's just, all right, he done forgot about it, you know? So I feel like that was more important on his life that than they showed in this movie. So that was a big thing for me. But I'm gonna go back and forth with positives and negatives. I'll tell you guys, a positive right here, 100% a positive, is the musical aspect to this movie. Like I said early on, the musical aspects, when Jafar is on stage with Michael Jackson and he's singing and dancing, I think those work. All those scenes, if you are coming to see Michael go hee hee, doing all that dancing, oh, you know, all that stuff, moonwalking, this and that, you get it. And it's amazing, right? The crowd I was with, now we went to go see it with General Public, but the crowd I was with, everybody singing and dancing. They going crazy. I saw this lady in front of me. She was, you know, everybody's dancing. That's why you came to see this, right? But I think they let this get in the way of actually telling a really good story, you know? And that's all I'll say about that. I just thought, and I'll get more into that in the spoilery section, but I thought these parts are great. They're great. But I thought y'all should have gave equal focus to his story. It was kind of like I said, they were so speed rushing the story. The story is so speed rushing. I know it's because they were cutting a lot. And I'll tell you, I'll give it this. The pacing is great. Like, the movie's 2 hours. It did not feel like 2 hours, but it's because the movie is flying by. It's getting from point to point, and it's getting from point to point very, very quickly. A lot quickly than it probably should. It should probably spend some time in a specific time period, but it doesn't. It might spend like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. All right, next time period. We gotta go. And I felt like that kind of somewhat hurts the movie. You're gonna end up like, okay, look, this ain't no spoiler, but it was always talks of this being in the 2 parts, right? So why not use that being in the 2 parts to your favor? Michael Jackson, like I said, was probably one of the greatest artists of all time. In my book, he's the greatest of all time. His story needs to be better told than I feel like than this. If I'm gonna be completely honest, y'all could have really deep dived into his story, but I felt like they didn't, you know. But maybe they did. They just cut a lot, you know. So I would love to see that 4-hour version of this story. That was funny. I was talking to a friend of mine after the movie because he came too, and he was like, he wished this movie was longer, and I was like, I do too. I wish this movie was longer too, because there was so much I feel like that was actually missing. And there was moments that they kind of hit, but they didn't go too crazy on it. Like, let's be real, y'all. What is one of Michael Jackson's biggest songs of all time? I'm talking about one of his biggest songs. Think of it right now. Okay, you got that answer? Well, if you said this song, then you're completely right. Thriller, one of his biggest freaking songs of all time. This movie spends 2 minutes on this. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, you know how influential this song is? Even till today, how influential this song is? And y'all spend It's just the music video shoot, and it's like, okay, next thing. I'm like, wait. Like, one thing, like what I wish was like, yo, can we at least see Michael Jackson like sitting down, like thinking about how he's gonna write a song, how he's gonna do a song? They kind of show you it here and there, like he writes sticky notes and stuff like that. But I'm like, God damn, I wish we at least one of the songs we went through like the mind and the process of how Michael Jackson was able to like really write these songs and how he's able to do these songs. You don't really see that too much, which kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if we, okay, I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to go too much. I'm trying to save a lot of this for the spoiler review. I think if you're asking me, because I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson. Well, not huge, but he was a big part of like influence. He was influential to me, right? My thing is, I wish this would have went deeper. I wish at the end of the day, I wish this would have went deeper. Like you have a point in the movie where it's Michael talking about, I want to go solo. I want to go solo. I want to go solo. Next thing you know, his album's already ready to go. You know, he kind of spends a second on the album and then boom, it's ready to go. And then it's like, it's #1, you know, stuff like that. I'm just like, shouldn't we be spending a little bit more time on him going solo? You know, his album and that solo thing. But hey, look, I don't want you guys thinking that I completely hate this movie. I did not completely hate this movie. I actually liked it more than I didn't like it. You know, my dislikes are so strong. I had fun with this. You know, I had fun. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was singing the songs. You know what I'm saying? The performances are good, right? Especially Colman, Domingo, DeFar Jackson. I think he gets better as the movie goes along. But like I said, this movie does have its problems. And I know everybody's like, all the critics are like, yo, I loved it. Look, I loved it too, right? I'll tell you guys this. As a Michael Jackson fan, I love this movie. As a critic, I was like, damn, wish it had been a little bit better, you know? And I hope that somehow somebody from the studio looks and sees this review and doesn't take it as like being like it's negative. Me being like, no, I didn't like it, this and that. I'm not trying to be negative on this movie. I really want, if you're gonna do another film, right, the second part, I really want you guys to like listen to what I said. Let's go deeper into his life. You know what I'm saying? Let's go deeper into his story. Yes, let's put him on stage. You know, let's have him sing the songs. You can definitely have those. I want those, right? It's a biopic with Michael Jackson. Hell yeah, put that in there, right? But at the same freaking time, Michael's story, we need to tell that. Like, I don't need to. I told my friend this literally the other day. I was like, because she was like, should I go see this movie? Yes or no? And I was saying, for the musical aspects, go see it, right? Or you can watch that part on YouTube. But if you really want to learn more about Michael, you might want to go watch a documentary. And that's something I just didn't have to say, y'all. It's just something I really wish I didn't have to say. But like I said, I know I'm seeming down on this, but I wasn't really down. You know, I was having fun watching this. So if I had to give out my review on this or my rating on this film, I would probably go like a 7.5 out of 10, y'all. 7.5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? It's still a like, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, you gon' have fun with this. They listen to me for, you gon' have fun with this. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Michael Jackson fan. But I just wish they would have went deeper. And y'all had the time to go deeper. God damn it, the movie's only 2 hours and freaking 7 minutes. Y'all had plenty of time to go deeper with this. Like I said, I want that. If somebody from Universal or Lionsgate was like, look, we will give you the 4-hour version, if you watch it, I'd be like, I will watch that 4-hour version right now. I want the 4-hour version. But damn, I got the 2-hour version. So yeah, man. So 7.5 out of 10. It's not like I still hated it. You know, if I was going like DT scale, I'd probably go like a matinee or something like that. But I wish it was better though, because this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. But hey, man. Also, yeah, your boy is in the movie, or is your boy? They did have. I wrote down my notes, but I wasn't gonna say anything. They got Bubbles in here too, y'all. But the CGI on Bubbles is hit or miss. So yeah, bruh. I just want to say that real quick. But hey, man, y'all first time finding my channel, hit the subscribe button. Also, the video. Tell me your thoughts, complaints, criticism, stuff like that below. Spoiler review will be coming out soon, y'all. I will be posting a spoiler review. So we'll see you guys next one, man. Peace.